Aloha world, welcome to another token video where today we're going to be doing the MBTI test. This is something I have done in the past, so I know what I tested as before. I know generally, regardless of if I get a different result, it'll still be probably very highly in the introverted range of things. But for those unfamiliar, this is just obviously the Wikipedia page about it. It's nothing super scientific. It's more or less just a generalization for a lot of things. I think something on here says not being comprehensive. Yeah, it's not comprehensive at all. It's just a few minutes out of the day that gives you a general idea about your personality type. So let's go for it. I'm gonna do this 16 personalities test. It's free. Like I said, it only takes a few minutes, and it's just all about this asking you questions, and it's got a range of agree to disagree, and you just select whichever one, and you go about the test. So let's get into it. You regularly make new friends. For me, no, I actually kind of don't. I'm not a very friend making type. It's not a priority in my day, and probably honestly it's something I guess I struggle with because of my aversion to social contact. So I'd actually say I highly disagree because I definitely do not regularly make new friends. It does happen, it's just very rare. Number two, you spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. Yeah, we're gonna go with a strongly agree on that one. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. That was something that happened in my life. It never used to. And then one day, I was tripping. I was on a good bit of mushrooms and a little bit of acid. And ever since then, that switched an empathy toggle in my brain. And yeah, now it's a strongly agree kind of thing. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. We're gonna go disagree on that one. I do like to have something of a backup plan, but it's nothing ever where I get super detailed about that. So I guess we're gonna do a kind of disagree. You usually stay calm, even under a lot of pressure. Well, for the most part, I internalize a lot of this stress. So it's an outward calm, even though internally I may be kind of struggling with it. So I don't know. I think that one I might just have to go a neutral with. Because as the question is posed, it's like it could be an agree, but it also could be a disagree. So yeah, we're just gonna go straight neutral on that. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. 1000% agree. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. Oh, this is where my ADHDness, ADD/ADHDness comes in. I have trouble. I struggle sometimes in trying to sometimes finish a project. It's not often, but so I guess I'll have to do a kind of disagree. You are very sentimental. This one I actually am. I've always been a very sentimental kind of person. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. Definitely no. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes not, but oftentimes I think, yeah, I can question myself even though I think I know exactly what I want to be done. If I fuck up along the way, it's like, well, how sure am I then? So I think we'll do a kind of agree on that one. You feel comfortable with just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Anyo, you are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. Definitely gonna have to agree with that. Honestly, when it comes to creative works, Um, I don't really, I don't like try to break them down. I don't try to analyze them. I just kind of appreciate them for what they are. So, yeah, I'm honestly not too interested in discussing various interpretations. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. Depends. That's a. I'm definitely gonna have to go stay neutral on that because it's a highly situational kind of a thing. How strongly do I feel about it? How strongly am I seeing the rationale behind something? Definitely situational, so I'm gonna have to stay neutral on that one. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. Hmm, that's kind of both. With certain things, I definitely have a routine, 1000% do. And then if it doesn't fall within that kind of very narrow routine that I have set for myself, aside from that, it is a just do whatever kind of thing. So I would not agree with the fact that it says I would usually prefer. So we're just gonna go sort of disagree with that. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I honestly don't give a shit for the most part about making that good impression, unless it's somebody that I'm excited to meet. If it's an interaction that I'm looking forward to, then I do want to make a good impression. But if it's just like a random encounter, I honestly don't care. So again, because of the kind of open layout of the question, I'm just gonna have to stay neutral on that one. You enjoy participating in group activities? Hell no. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. Oof. There was a Korean drama that I recently watched that had a mostly open ending, and I didn't like it. I didn't like that open ending of it. So I'm gonna have to go disagree on that. I don't necessarily hate it. So we'll just go mostly disagree there. Your happiness comes more from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. Happiness comes more from helping others than your own accomplishments. I, I, I do enjoy helping others, even if it is like a random situation with people that I don't know. I guess I have that sort of base kindness in me that takes pleasure from being able to assist. But at the same time, when I do accomplish my own personal feats, it's that's quite nice too. Am I gonna have to go middle of the road on this one? I kind of think so, because my happiness can come from both. It's not necessarily biased towards one side or the other in that discussion. You're interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. Not really. My interests are actually fairly narrow. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. Yeah, kind of. I do have that sort of pessimistic side to me. It's pessimistic with an optimistic side to that. So it's a hope that things will always work out for the best, but with that base feeling that it's probably going to be not so great. So I'd probably say strongly agree on that, or mostly agree, whatever this category is here. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. It depends. Is it a group of friends? Is it a group of people that I'm comfortable with, or is it a random group of people, or is it something like I don't know. It's kind of too open ended for that for me to really say. If it's a group of friends or a group where I'm comfortable being in, then I kind of almost prefer to be in a leadership thing. But if it's a group that I'm not wanting to be in, like if it's a kind of forced public interaction, I definitely most certainly do not want to be in a leadership position. So it's really hard to say. For the most part, though, even there's plenty of times where even in a group of friends where I'm more than wanting to not be in a position of leadership. So I would probably say agree with that on this level here. You're definitely not an artistic type of person. Well, I would disagree with that in a sense that the art that I prefer is not one so much based on creativity. I'm not a painting, drawing type of an artist. My art is more of creation of videos and photography, where taking reality and putting that in its best light to show off to people. So I would say that I am something of an artistic person, definitely not. So I disagree with that. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings? 1000% yes. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. I could be kind of lazy about that. There are certain things where I always would definitely prefer to get done, but the procrastination and the laziness side of me, when I don't have to do something, I'll tend to put it off. You enjoy watching people argue. You know what? Not really. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Yeah. Your mood can change very quickly. Kind of depends on the situation. Usually, though, it's pretty set. If I'm in a good mood, if bad shit starts happening, I'm still usually able to maintain my good mood. If I'm in a bad mood and everything is nice and cheery around me, I'll still kind of be in that negative mind space. So I'd probably say kind of disagree on that. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Strongly agree. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Yup. You have always been fascinated by the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Nah. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Absolutely not. I 1000% always prefer to be on my own versus around others. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. Man, the whole theoretical arguments just annoy me. So yeah, definitely lose interest when a discussion turns theoretical. I don't know. I guess I change that to mostly agree because, yeah, there are times where I can definitely entertain the idea of a theoretical, hypothetical discussion, but for the most part, I'm just too grounded in objective reality. Okay, so you find it easy to empathize with the person whose experiences are very different from yours. You know, I can empathize. That's kind of an unfortunate superpower of mine. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. Yeah, that we discussed that already. 1000% yes. You rarely second guess the choices you have made. I practically always second guess the choices I have made, except in very few circumstances. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. Oh, hell no. You enjoy going to art museums? No, I kind of don't. I've been to one art museum in my life. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. No, I can understand the feelings. Doesn't mean I agree with them, but I can understand them. You like to have a to-do list for each day. Nope. You rarely feel insecure. Nope. You avoid making phone calls. Yup. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are different from your own. No, I kind of don't. I fully accept the fact that there are views different from my own, and I can understand why there are views different from my own, but I don't necessarily, I guess, try to challenge my own views based on other people's. So we're going to go definite disagree on that one. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. I do sometimes in my social circle. Very much not a lot of the time, but on occasion. So we'll go slightly agree on that. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Kind of depends. As I talked about earlier, I have a routine. And I also very rarely make plans. If I do have a plan, though, and if it does get interrupted, I do want to get back on track as soon as possible. So yeah, I think we'll go mostly agree on this one. Or very much agree. This assumes that I do have a plan. So yeah, I'm going to say strongly agree on that. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. Boop. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I very rarely do. If ever. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Depends on what it is that I'm feeling emotional about. It really depends. I can definitely let my emotions control me, but I can also let just reality and the objective, reality control my decision. So I think I'm just gonna have to stay neutral on this point. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it's completely their fault. If it's their fault, I mean, I don't necessarily go out of my way to make them look bad. It depends on what it is. It depends on how I feel the importance of what it is that got fucked up. If it's something I consider important, I will kind of be harsh on them. Because if it's something that I fuck up, I'm harsh on myself. But at the same point, I don't really want to make somebody feel bad. So I might approach the situation in a way that kind of softens the blow. It really depends. But I'll say kind of agree on that one. Or will I? I'm going to stay neutral on that one. It really depends. We're 80% done here. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. My personal work style, not my personal chill style. Not talking about like my off time here. If I'm like on the clock, it actually is fairly organized and consistent in that it oftentimes can be based around constant rather than spontaneous, constant bursts of energy. So we're going to go kind of mostly disagree on that. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. Oh, that one, oof. Oof, hurts to agree with that, but have to strongly agree with that one. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Oh my God, yes. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Yeah, It can be fun, but does it ever accomplish anything? Nah. You feel more drawn to places with busy. I think we've established pretty well at this point that no, I do not want to be in a busy, bustling atmosphere. I'd absolutely 100% much rather be in a quiet, intimate place. You know at first glance how someone is feeling, but do I care? Harsh but true. I don't care. But do I know how they're feeling? I don't. I would say no, because when somebody looks at me, I may be masking the fact of how I'm actually feeling. So I think if I look at other people, I might be assuming that they as well might be masking the way that they're feeling. So I'm going to say kind of disagree on that. If I know that they're not the type to hide their feelings, if they're, that type that just, as the saying goes, wears their feelings on their sleeves, then yeah, I can look at them and figure out pretty easily, as I think most people can. But like I said, that inside part of me is like, well, are they trying to hide something though? 90%. You often feel overwhelmed. Depends. Situational. I can, but I also like to think I'm pretty good at overcoming whatever situation that I'm in, even if I am uncomfortable in that situation. But that doesn't mean that I'm not kind of still stressed out by it. You complete things methodically without skipping over steps. Well, I like to think that I do, but sometimes I kind of cut some corners if I feel the corners can be cut without affecting the end result. We're going to go kind of agree on that. You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. Depends. Things is a very broad term. I'm very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. Not really. I guess I'm going to say kind of no on that. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. Depends on my thoughts towards that person. Highly depends on my specific thoughts towards that person. It's too situational for me to really say agree or disagree on that. You struggle with deadlines. Kind of. Kind of not, but kind of. Because of that whole procrastination thing. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I have a hope that things will work out. Is confident the right word? I don't know about that one. Kind of though. We'll say that. This will determine your avatar in the results screen. I don't care about that. See results. Is it an ISTP? ISFP rather. Yes, ISFP-T. So this is what I've got before when I've done it. I think I've done it twice before, and I always get this. I am the adventurer. So 96% introverted. Let's do better, Paul. Let's strive for that 100% next time. No surprise there. Next, 87% observant versus intuitive. Observant individuals are pragmatic and down to earth. They tend to have a strong focus on what is happening or very likely to happen. I agree with that. 57% feeling versus thinking. Feeling individual value emotional expression and sensitivity. They place a lot of importance on empathy, social harmony, and cooperation. So this is a little bit of a deviation from the last time I did it. I'm pretty sure the last time this was at like 51 or 52%. It was just barely in the F range. So as I've grown a little bit older, this has gotten a little bit more solidified in the feeling range of things. 65% prospecting versus judging. I think this is pretty close to what it's usually at. So yeah, prospecting individuals are very good improvising and adapting to opportunities. They tend to be flexible nonconformists who value novelty above stability. I'm not sure I super agree with that part of things. I am a flexible nonconformist, but I do value stability. Just not in a sense that I want to go out of my way to plan for it. So, yeah. Turbulent versus assertive. Turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. They feel a sense of urgency in their emotions and tend to be success-driven, perfectionistic, 100%, absolutely, and eager to improve. Yeah, okay, I'd agree with that. And that's that. So, yeah, that's about all I have for this video. Cheers, everybody's. Adventures You May Know. Lana Del Rey, Jungkook, Avril Lavigne, Kevin Costner, Frida Kahlo. Never even heard of that person. Britney Spears, Michael Jackson, Jessica Alba, Joss Stone, Beatrix Kiddo. Oh, from Kill Bill. I was like, I don't know that name, but recognize the little avatar picture here. Jesse Pinkman. Haven't seen Breaking Bad yet. It's one of those shows that I'll probably get around to one of these days. So, yeah, that's all I have for today. Cheers, everybody's. If you have done this test before, or if you happen to do it yourself after watching this video, let me know in the comments what you pull up for your MBTI. And I will see you next time. Cheers.